Rand's most powerful speeches, Timeless Wisdom on Freedom, Reason, and Individualism, Free Speech. Freedom of speech means freedom from interference, suppression, or punitive action by the government, and nothing else. It does not mean the right to demand the financial support or the material means to express your views at the expense of other men who may not wish to support you. Freedom of speech includes the freedom not to agree, not to listen, and not to support one's own antagonists. A right does not include the material implementation of that right by other men. It includes only the freedom to earn that implementation by one's own effort. Private citizens cannot use physical force or coercion. They cannot censor or suppress anyone's views or publications. Only the government can do so. And censorship is a concept that pertains only to governmental action. The Fascist New Frontier, the Ayn Rand column. While people are clamoring about economic rights, the concept of political rights is vanishing. It is forgotten that the right of free speech means the freedom to advocate one's views and to bear the possible consequences, including disagreement with others, opposition, unpopularity, and lack of support. The political function of the right of free speech is to protect dissenters and unpopular minorities from forcible suppression, not to guarantee them the support, advantages, and rewards of a popularity they have not gained. The Bill of Rights reads, Congress shall make no law, abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. It does not demand that private citizens provide a microphone for the man who advocates their destruction, or a pass key for the burglar who seeks to rob them, or a knife for the murderer who wants to cut their throats. Man's rights, the virtue of selfishness. The communists and the Nazis are merely two variants of the same evil notion, collectivism, but both should be free to speak. Evil ideas are dangerous only by default of men advocating better ideas. The Objectivist Calendar, June 1978. The difference between an exchange of ideas and an exchange of blows is self-evident. The line of demarcation between freedom of speech and freedom of action is established by the ban on the initiation of physical force. The cashing in, the student rebellion. Capitalism, the unknown ideal. The difference between an exchange of ideas and an exchange of blows is self-evident. The line of demarcation between freedom of speech and freedom of action is established by the ban on the initiation of physical force. The cashing in, the student rebellion. Capitalism, the unknown ideal. In regard to the lawsuit to prevent a Nazi group from marching in Skokie, Illinois, what I challenge, and not only because of that particular case, is the interpretation of demonstrations and of other actions as so-called symbolic speech. When you lose the distinction between action and speech, you lose eventually the freedom of both. The Skokie case is a good illustration of that principle. There is no such thing as symbolic speech. You do not have the right to parade through the public streets or to obstruct public thoroughfares. You have the right of assembly, yes, on your own property and on the property of your adherents or your friends. But nobody has the right to clog the streets. The streets are only for passage. The hippies in the 60s should have been forbidden to lie down on city pavements. They used to lie down across a street and cause dreadful traffic snarls in order to display their views, to attract attention, to register a protest. If they were permitted to do it, the Nazis should be permitted as well. Properly, both should have been forbidden. They may speak, yes. They may not take action at whim on public property. The Objectivist Calendar, June 1978.